Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm very, very excited for today's video. I have teased this team quite a bit on my channel so far. Now, many of you have seen videos on this before. I've actually made a video on this very team before, but we're going to dive into it again. I haven't made it before on the free-to-play. I made it on the main account. Now I've built it on the free-to-play. I wanted to just make an entire video focused on this team. Now, the team that I'm talking about, as you've probably seen from the title and from the thumbnail, is Phantom Shogun's Grove, Stage 25. Now, it is an all-rare team. It uses a level 50. And I only have masteries on 2 of the champions. Now, by the way, if you get masteries on Gnarlhorn, you'll actually make it much easier on yourself. So hindsight, I probably should have gotten masteries. I didn't even realize. I was going to say 3. I thought I had masteries on him, but I do not have masteries on Paragon, Reliquary Tender, or Gnarlhorn. Only on my Cold Hearts. So, let's talk about this team. Now, this is a very specific speed-tuned team. You can find it on... I originally learned about it from Odd One. I watched a video where he made this team, and then I went ahead and found it on Hell Hades Optimizer. So if you use the optimizer, it'll suggest teams for you. That's how I found other teams on my account that have done very well. But this particular team, I just was able to use that on the other screen, hit the speeds I wanted to hit. He actually told, in his video, he says, yeah, you can find it on the optimizer. So I did that, and I used the speeds that were suggested. It is a very finely tuned speed team. We're going to go ahead. I'll keep super raids on. This is a 100% team. No fails. You're going to see right now how it works in action. Now, we're just going to watch right now, and then I'm going to go over kind of what's going on. So you can kind of see the speed tune there every time that Phantom Shogun Grove, what are we going to call him? Every time the Shogun uses that ability to put Enfeeble on everybody, Reliquary Tender removes it. And you might be asking yourself, well, why is he only attacking this champion every single time? It's because he targets whoever has the highest crit damage. So I've just stacked crit damage on this guy, and he is incapable of placing a weak hit. Because he cannot weak hit, he can't give stacks to the Shogun. So he's the perfect tank for this. And many, many top teams use him. Now, there are faster teams that will basically... I've seen a team before that will basically... Everyone just goes before he does, and enemy max HPs him to death. So, there are certainly other teams out there, but there's a few reasons why I love this particular all-rare team. And that is because it does not impact my account whatsoever. I don't use these, even Cold Hearts. And I know many of you are going to be like, well, I use Cold Heart everywhere. At the point, even on my free-to-play account, after 1 year, I got Cold Heart so late on this account, I never used her. I got Newt very early, kind of reduces the need for a Cold Heart, right? And so because of that, this team is my go-to team. And of course, Raid always decides to break when you're recording, because it's the best time to break, right? Okay, thank you, Raid. Boy, nothing throws you off in the middle of a video like your team breaking in the middle of it. All right, so we'll go here. We're going to do recently used. I'm going to go over each of these champions, their speeds, and kind of what they do, right? Let's start with Gnarlhorn. So Gnarlhorn is a rare that many of you may not have heard about except for this team. So if we go in here, His A1, damage increases according to how much HP the champion is. This attack cannot be a strong, critical, or weak hit. Because it cannot be any of those, he does not give stacks to the boss. Let's talk about the boss a little bit first. I realize I'm getting ahead of myself here just a tad. And we can talk about the mechanics here. So he gains stacks throughout the fight. It's the shade counter, right? When an enemy lands a weak hit, it increases the shade counter by 2. Sorry, by 6 on stage 21 through 25. So when he makes people weak hit, he gains stacks. And eventually he'll gain stacks to the point where you can't poison him, you can't burn him, and you can't even there it is. Yeah, you can't even do max HP damage. And so you don't want him to gain stacks or else you just lose. And eventually he'll ignore all of defense. I don't know if he will ignore unkillable at any point, at any level of shade counter, but he has killed my okay, there it is. Yeah, if it reaches 20, he will ignore unkillable buffs, right? So, but that's only if he hits 20. We don't allow him to do that. The way that you reduce the counter is with Awakening. So if you have Awakening, it'll remove 3 stacks, second hit 1 stack, subsequent will not remove any, right? But as you gain Awakening stacks, you're going to remove, or as you gain Awakening levels, you will remove stacks from him. So that's the whole idea. It's just to remove stacks with your champions, and then he is the tank. And then the Cold Hearts do enemy max HP damage because he's not getting enough stacks to be resistant to it, and that burns him down. And so that's how the team works, right? So Gnarlhorn, in order to be the primary target of the boss, we want Gnarlhorn to have as much crit damage as possible. So you'll see he has 274% crit damage, and I remind you that is to my own detriment without Keen Strike. But somehow I managed to pull that off. Pretty easy crit damage gloves, crit damage amulet, as much crit damage anywhere else. The only other concern for me, HP does matter. You want him to have a reasonable amount of health. I get by with 47,000. I don't know what the minimum would be, but you know for sure 47,000 is safe. I recommend playing with that number. If you're at 40,000, try it. If it doesn't work, start enchanting, start ascending gear, and kind of going that route. But 180 speed is the critical amount of speed. This is flexible a little bit. I think on my main account, the speed is a little different. So on the main account, nope, 180 speed exactly, yeah. So 180 speed is what you want to hit for your Gnarlhorn. You're in the team, you're turning off the, this doesn't do a hit, so it doesn't really matter, but you still turn this off. And you actually turn this off too. You don't want him to give his own unkillable. He only A1s. That's the entire thing he does. So then you bring Paragon. Now what does Paragon do? Paragon places unkillable for 2 turns on a 2-turn cooldown. That's all he does. That is why he is there. You need to make sure he has enough health that he stays alive. Because I think there's a small amount of AoE damage, but it's negligible since the nerfs to the boss. So, again, I'm only 40,000 HP on him, and we're totally fine. The speed for him is 175. And I want to tell you now, these speeds are for stage 25. So I'm going to caution you Don't just end the video here after you see the speeds and go build it, because it's not going to work. I'm going to explain why. But yeah, Paragon just applies unkillable. That's all he does. Then we have Reliquary Tender. Reliquary Tender is our cleanser. Now, Reliquary Tender has to be much faster, 285 speed. Now, this is not anything too crazy, but even on my account, I struggled to hit this speed. I do need, well, sorry, I don't need, I thought I would need it, but I managed to get by without it. I was going to say Lore of Steel, but I managed to do it without Lore of Steel, which is great news. I did have to get some pretty decent rolls, speed on the boots. Now, I have her at 285 speed. The HP is just a bonus, but 285 speed, that's really all you need in order to pull off this team. The secret is that she has a 3-turn cleanse. Any 3-turn cleanser can do this. You can use Mithrala. You could use any other 3-turn cleanser, but like I said before, I like using Reliquary Tender because it allows me the freedom to alter my Mithrala. So let's say I wanted to have more HP on Mithrala, or I wanted her to be faster or slower, or have more defense at the cost of a little bit of speed, or more accuracy, right? And my highest accuracy banner maybe doesn't have speed, or, like, there's many reasons why the speeds would be different. And one of the most frustrating things when you're dealing with teams like this is when you go to use them somewhere else and you're like, oh, I need them to be 1 speed faster in order to do this, for the hex to be applied before so-and-so takes an attack. Well, now I'm out of speed tune and my team fails for Phantom Shogun, which sucks. So I love just using a rare. Reliquary Tender, not going to use her anywhere else in the game. I put this gear on her. I put her in Shogun, and I never think about it again. I just click play on Shogun whenever I want to do it, and that's it. And these champions never get touched. They're locked. Their gear is locked on optimizers and other such things. So this stuff never gets shifted around, and I never have to worry about it again. And I never have to worry. And then that gives me the freedom to use Mithrala however I want, or use Newt however I want, or Ninja, or anybody else that I might consider putting in here. For the Cold Hearts, the speeds are not the same for both of them. 247 speed for one, and 259 speed for the other. And again, it's really, really nice to use Cold Hearts because, for those of you that don't know, Cold Heart has a 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit with the Heartseeker ability. So what's great about that is my threshold for crit rate is much lower. I don't need to hit 100%. I need to hit 70% because she's still going to do that damage. That allows me to hit these really high speeds, a little bit higher HP, high crit damage as well, so that I can do the boss damage that I want at the speeds that I need to be. So that's a rundown on the team. Now the Cold Hearts have masteries because I need Lore of Steel to hit their relatively high speeds. Again, this is not high speeds for endgame accounts, but for a free-to-play, this was a challenge to hit. That was my biggest hiccup. My second biggest hiccup, actually. What is the biggest challenge to this team? Getting to stage 25. It's a nightmare. So, I have this team. This is perfectly tuned. You just watched me use it. What happens if I put it in stage 24? Everything's tuned perfectly. What's going to happen? It looks good. Everything looks good. Roadblock, you're crazy. This is super easy. I could just use this team all the way going up. It's working great. There is no reason that this team would not work. Wait a minute. He might run out of unkillable. Alright. Well, it looks like it's going to work on this difficulty. Ooh. There it is. Yeah, that's what I was talking. Okay. I thought I was going to look like an idiot. Not going to lie. I really thought I was going to look like an idiot. I thought it was going to happen a lot sooner where it was going to fail. Apparently, Shogun is just broken today. Great time to make a Shogun video. But here's the problem, right? If you go and build this team exactly as I have, and you're progressing, and you're on stage 15, my team will not work for you because the tune of the team is not right. And so you may be asking, well, how did you get to stage 25, right? It doesn't make any sense. Manual. I had to do it on manual. So if I hit replay, he's still going to target there. You open with the A1, right? Heart Seeker when you can. But I do use this ability now, right? And the reason being is that the cooldown may not always be up. So my rule of thumb is if there's one stack of, or fewer, obviously, of unkillable, then I will place the unkillable. Because the tune is not correct all the time. And so there's a good possibility that you're not going to have the buff up when you want it to be. So you kind of want to reserve it. See, I'm at one stack now, so I'm going to go ahead and put that unkillable on. Okay? And we're just A1ing here until I get my Heartseeker back. Right? We just want to, that unkillable needs to always stay up. We're still just A1ing here, but now I'm down to one stack, right? So we need to keep that in mind. We're going to A1 here. It's on cooldown for him, but I am under the unkillable buff. Luckily, at this difficulty and other difficulties, that doesn't line up either, and you're going to have to make another adjustment. We'll talk about that in a second. So one stack, that means I'm going to use this unkillable. Now, he just took a turn. You guys saw that, right? Now, granted, I didn't open with his unkillable, which is a problem. That's on my end, you know. That's why this team didn't fail at this point in what you just saw, and it would have failed there. So I have two stacks, so I will save the unkillable from Paragon. And the reason the A1s are so good here is they actually take more stacks down from the Cold Hearts. But we'll talk about where the A2s could be useful here too, if it happens. All right, so we're down to one stack. He does his thing. We're going to continue to A1. We'll, again, one stack of unkillable, so we're going to place the unkillable again. And this is what I did to progress. I had to put it on manual. I had to get a little bit of RNG. Now you're going to see another problem with this. Her cleanse is off cooldown. She should be cleansing here. But if I cleanse here, there's no debuffs to cleanse. She came out of sync because the speeds are off, right? So now I'm in trouble because I'm about to add stacks because these are under enfeeble. They're forced to weak hit. If I was to use my A1, that's going to be 4 weak hits, guys. Instead, I use the A2. This is why I save it. That's 1 weak hit, 3 stacks. Maybe that's manageable, right? Now, he can't weak hit, so he actually reduces the stacks. Again, we use the A2. 3 more stacks. It still didn't work. He managed to get it. But I have, you know, by using the manual way, you are going to have to do that. You may have to run at slower speeds than what I'm talking about, right? You may have to find that perfect amount of speed to get past those difficult levels in order to get to stage 25. That's the hard part. Getting to stage 25 is extremely difficult. Okay, I wouldn't say extremely. But you can do it with this team. You just have to play manual, and you just have to make sure that you're paying attention to what buffs you're using and when to, try to optimize that. And as you can tell, I did do it, right? I grinded my way through. You'll see these runs took 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 9 minutes on this one, right? It's not a quick thing. Like, you're going to have to manual it. It may take you a couple of tries, but eventually you'll get through it. And once you do, and you're on stage 25, you set it and you forget it. You never have to worry about it again. So that's why I love this team. I use it on both of my accounts. I showed you earlier. The one on my main account, I think, is actually a little bit faster, just by 30 seconds. I think I have some more masteries and, of course, better blessings, right? For the blessings, all Phantom Touch, it's fine. They're rares. So a Phantom Touch, there's really no benefit to any other blessing being had. You're just hitting the crit damage thresholds, right, is going to be the priority. But I love this team, and I built that on the free-to-play, and I actually made some sacrifices to build this, right? And what I mean by that is I built this, and it forced me to ignore some new champions, right? I still haven't leveled up Thor. I still haven't leveled up Teox. And so I don't regret the decision, but I'm just being realistic about, why I did that. We're going to talk about one other reason why this is important. So if you've been following the channel for a little bit, you've probably seen me show off my Sand Devil team, and you've probably heard me talk about the fact that this is not a 100% team. Because it's not. It wasn't. It wasn't. As soon as I finished Shogun on stage 25, I immediately put it on farm overnight and farmed up as much as I could. And in doing so, I gained the resources, right? Why do we want to farm Shogun? Well, you need chaos powder and ascension materials. So I farmed it a lot. That's a lot of chaos powder, right? And what did that do for me? Well, that allowed me to put HP on the ring, HP on the neck, and a little bit extra defense on the banner. So now this team that was maybe 90%, maybe 95% effective is now 100% effective because I was able to hit the target defense and HP on my Godseeker Aniri so that she no longer dies. Now, one comment I always get when I talk about my Godseeker and her dying is that, oh, well, run a different speed team and give her higher HP or whatever. But this team is easy to build, works fine. I have pretty good HP on a lot of the gear and speed. Like, maybe I run her a little bit slower is a possibility, but regardless, I'm able to hit the threshold now that I wasn't previously able to hit, and I did that through Ascensions, and I think that is very, very important to be able to pull off this team. If you are struggling, if your Godseeker gets crit and dies, maybe you just need to boost up her stats. She's already a 4-star blessing, right? She's pretty strong, but I'm not lying to you guys when I say that getting those ascensions on these 3 pieces was exactly what I needed to get my Godseeker to survive 100% of the time. And now I have both dungeons on farm at stage 25. And that's the power of Phantom Shogun's Grove. It lets you increase those accessories so you can reroll and get the bonus that you want, right? Maybe I get some more accuracy. In fact, I think I need some more accuracy, We got defense, not great, right? So we won't upgrade it for right now, but I can use chaos powder and I can rework it. We get attack. We'll try again. Resistance. And you can see how quickly you'll go through chaos powder, right? And back to resistance. Now, I'm not going to roll it anymore because I ran out. But you can see how quickly that chaos powder can go. Well, I'm not worried. Do I look worried? I'm not. Because I know that I can go in and just farm Shogun and I'll get that chaos powder back. And when I find a champion that I want to ascend their stuff too, I can re-roll it, hope I get the stat that I want, and we're going to be good to go. So this team is awesome. It's one of my favorite teams. Shout out to Odd One for first introducing me to this team, and I'm just a huge fan of it. I recommend for everybody to build this. It's 4 void rares, easy to get, and a Gnarlhorn. I don't think Gnarlhorn is campaign farmable. I believe the campaign farmable one is the ice one. What's his name? Yeah, Greybeard is who I'm thinking of. Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't think you can campaign farm Gnarlhorn, but you will eventually get him. And even if you don't want to build this particular team, like you could use any enemy max HP nuker. You could use any damage dealer, as long as their speeds are correct and they're not taking turns when under enfeeble. You can use any 3-turn cleanser as long as the speeds are correct and they don't attack when they're under enfeeble, right? Paragon and Gnarlhorn are pretty essential to the team. You could probably find a way to make this work with another unkillable buffer. You may not necessarily need Paragon, but it just doesn't make sense to not use him because he's awesome in this role. And so is Gnarlhorn. So great team. I love it. I really hope that they give us some more Shogun tournaments because it sucks that I have to farm this. I mostly farm this during clan versus clan now because it gets me good clan v clan points. Not a lot of silver, which sucks, but I'm getting resources that I want. So I tend to farm it during clan v clan because it gets me the same points that I would get out of Spider. So Spider has always been the place to go. Stage 10 of hard Spider gets you 400 points. So 800 per, what's it called? I can't remember what they call it now. Super raids, right? 800 per super raid. So it's always 40 energy, right? Yeah, so 40 energy, whether it's on Spider's Den or Phantom Shogun. So really good clan v clan points. I basically put all my energy during clan v clan into it. We're not necessarily trying to win right now, but you'll see if you go to Phantom Shoguns, which by the way is boosted right now, so a really good time to be doing it. 400 points plus another 400 because it's boosted. Then you throw on top of that the so it's 800 per single run. Then you have the super raids, so you're getting 1,600 per run, up to 20,000 points. This is gonna add up quick. So yeah, great time to build this team. I'm actually going to upload this video as soon as possible for you guys. So those of you that are looking to catch up in Clan v Clan now have a great resource to try and get those points if you build this team. Well, thank you guys for watching. I was very excited to make this video. If you couldn't tell at the beginning of the video, I just want to say very quickly, and I save these stuff for the end because I don't want to bore you guys early on, but I know that I've been, like, I didn't stream tonight, and I'm recording this video. I'm going to be very real with you guys. My channel blew up super fast. I've gained about 2,000 subscribers in, like, a couple weeks. That's what my total subscriber count when this popped off was, like, 1,400. Or I was getting close to 1,400. And now I'm almost at... is it 4,000? Yeah, I'm almost at 4,000, which, by the way, I am at 3,971 subscribers right now. So please consider subscribing because I really want to hit 4,000. It's going to be a big milestone. I'll make a big video about it, do a stream. We'll have some fun. It'll be special. But it's a little overwhelming because now there's 2,000 of you that haven't been watching me for a year and know my It's eccentric, I like my weirdness, my awkwardness, my goofiness, right? And so I felt a lot of pressure when I make my videos now that I've never felt before. Usually it's like, if they don't like it, they'll downvote it, or they'll tell me in the comments, hey, this is a dumb video. And so I apologize that my content has fallen off a little bit. Because I recorded a video before. I wasn't even going to make this video, but I recorded this video. I recorded a video on what it means to be free to play in Raid Shadow Legends, and I just didn't like it. Decided not to release it. I made this video instead. Excited to make it. I was like, oh yeah, I want to make a video on that team. Let's do it. And so here we are, right? But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys have any ideas for videos. If there's stuff you want to see, let me know. I would love to share. I would, if there's something on my main account, if you've got questions about the free to play, you may have asked questions before that I said I would make a video on, and I probably made it and didn't release it. So please re-ask that question, because I really do want to make content for you guys, and I want to kind of get back on. I'm kind of forcing myself through this awkward situation, and I got to tell you, a lot of content creators out there are being a really big help to me. Check out MXPJE over on Twitch. He has been a great voice. He doesn't know it because it's just been in his Twitch chat, but he has been helping me feel more confident in myself. Blazin, and Big Papa Drock. You guys know Big Papa Drock. Blazin, you can find him. I mostly, when I need to find his channel, I subscribe to him, but when I need to find the channel, I just type in Google Blazin Raid Shadow Legends and I find him. But yeah, check out those content creators, but they don't even know it, but they have given me the motivation and the impact that maybe I actually belong at the table. And so I'm hoping to get more content for you guys. I think I'm definitely going to stream on Thursday. There's a possibility I stream on Wednesday, but I'm definitely going to stream on Thursday. So I look forward to that. And then when we have 4,000, I'll do a celebratory stream. And I would love to get you guys to show up for that, right? So hopefully we're close. Maybe we can hit 4,000 on Friday and have a celebratory stream. I stream over on Twitch and YouTube. You can find the links down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Take care, guys.